Hail Warrior. The healer is an essential role in combat. Your role is to keep players alive while you keep off the enemy players and stay alive as well. This build will make you very tanky, evasive, and overall very survivable while providing as many buffs and heals to your team. We will go over everything you need to know about the best PP healer build in the new world. First, we will cover the armor and the perks you want to focus on. You need to have 3 following perks. The first perk that is good in all situations is health. It increases your maximum HP, giving you more time to evade enemy attacks. Then are 2 perks that you need to have at maximum stacks. That is Refreshing and Invigorated. Refreshing will allow you to have lower skill cooldowns, allowing you to heal more often. I pick Invigorated because with disease debuff being your counter, you will want to have its uptime reduced to as little as possible. With 4 invigorated perks, you will have up to a 60% debuff reduction. The gear I have picked is very easy to get as all non-artifact gear is from a gypsum kiln, making it the cheapest best in slot build in New World. Most of the materia that is needed to craft can be gained from the free season pass. The link to the build will be in the description below. The armor artifact of choice is Featherweight. That lowers our equip weight, which allows us to wear heavy armor pieces, and with that we have more armor, making us 30% tankier than other light builds. As a third perk, I would take health. The heavy helmet I have picked is Reverent Earth, which has health and thrust conditioning as primary perks, and as a third one, I would pick Invigorated. The light gloves I have picked is Empress Joe's Embroidered Claws, which have health and refreshing as primary perks, and as a third one, I would pick Invigorated. The light gloves I have picked is Empress Joe's Embroidered Pants, which have the same perks as previous one. The heavy footwear I have picked is Woodgrain Sabotants, which has health and elemental aversion as primary perks, and as a third one, I would pick Invigorated as well, giving a cap of 4 stacks. That concluded our armor setup. As for jewelry, I would pick up the following named gear. The amulet is called Acorn. That has health and divine as primary perks, and I would take a must-have stamina recovery perk as a third one. My favorite ring that I love using is Vivify. It has a refreshing and healing breeze as its primary perks. When it comes to picking the third perk, you can pick between the Hardy or Sacred perk. Hardy gives you 1 more dodge before you run out of stamina, making you much more evasive and harder to kill. Or Sacred that gives you more healing. My jewelry preferred artifact, it's Endless Thirst. I love the feeling of a big potion drink that just fills your health bars in needed situations. As a third perk, I love taking Healing Heart as it gives you healing each time you use the Heart Rune. On the topic of Heart Runes, I like taking the Stalwart Heart Rune of Stone form as it gives me healing each time I use the skill. I recommend using it when are being pressured the most. With all the defensive equipment covered, let us talk about the weapons. The main weapon of our choice is an absolute best in slot. It is called Corrupt Progenitor Lifestaff, which already has a blessed and refreshing move as our primary perk. The third perk is totally up to you. The most commonly used third perks are Fortifying Sacred Ground, Refreshing Divine Embrace, or Purifying Breeze. All of them are good in their situation. I prefer Sacred Ground as I like playing OPR, and it is also useful in PvE as well. When it comes to skills for Lifestaff, you have a lot of options. I would recommend using an AoE healing build, but I would change skills around depending on the situation. The AoE or Area of Effect skill setup looks like this. Your main skills are Sacred Ground. Many melee builds that try to stand in the front line rely on this skill. Then I like using Orb of Protection as it gives Fortify and an overtime heal. These 2 skill I would use in any build no matter the situation. The third skill, you have a few options. You can use Beacon for even more AoE healing. Divine Embrace for a strong single target heal. I would recommend using the perk for it as well. It simply reduces the cooldown and restores mana on use for infinite usage. The last skill you can use is Splash of Light. It is a cleanse that removes a debuff from your ally. The third skill that you can use is very flexible depending on the situation and your playstyle. As our other weapon, I will always pick the Rapier. This weapon gives us such good mobility and survivability. I would say it outweighs all of the artifact options we have. My favorite is Commandant's Rapier. It comes with Lifestealing and Leeching Flurry. What is special about the Flurry perk is that it gives us 1 second of damage immunity when we use Flurry, making us unkillable. As a third perk, you can honestly pick anything you like. I have taken to thwarting counter perks as it gives us a bit of damage boost against grit-raging enemies that will try to hunt you down. You already see that with only Rapier perks we are very evasive, and what makes this build even more insane is his other skills. We use Flurry for our 1-second immunity when someone jumps on you. Then we can use Riposte for more damage negation, and we have Flesh to spin away from the enemies. All these 3 skills give us such good mobility and evasiveness that most enemies will quit before they will be able to deal damage to you. Overall, with high Invigorated, more armor than any other light build, and high evasiveness and mobility, this build can truly survive and attack coming its way. Plus, it's easy to get, as most of them can be crafted with materia in a gypsum kiln. This was my flavor of the best healer build for PvP. If you like the build guide, you can drop it a like, and if you feel like you want to stick around, you can always subscribe. It is free anyway. In the future, I plan to make a healer build for PvE as well. So, see you in the next video, warrior.